everybody, welcome back to ILR Tier 5 round 13 around Belgium. My Xbox just turned off midstream and I don't know if I'm going to get back into the race. I don't know how that could happen. Oh, here we go. Brilliant. Fantastic. So we are back. So I'll just get the tweet out. I didn't actually see the qualifying results, so this is going to be funny. I'm going to be able to see the qualifying results first hand with you guys. / Tommy. Right, cool. And there we go, we are back. I'm in before the start of the formation lap. So, I think I saw Sparshot got pole, but apart from that, I'm not too sure where everybody qualified. So yes, there is Sparshot first, and that looks like Jenkins second. So it was Sparshot, Jenkins, Dustin, Joels, IRL Schumacher, AJH, Adam R, Days Rhombus, Dun Thunder rounds out the top 10 in the McLaren, followed by Craig Conley, Scottish Dude, Joe Messi, Phalanx Blue, T10 Denzel, Hyperface T-Field. I've expected him to be a little bit higher up the grid. Sarah Girdwood, War Dark Phoenix, and the Kimpster, and XR Crazebear, who is actually decent. So he must have had a qualifying ban or something. And in fact, I'm extremely hot, so I'm just going to quickly take my jumper off. I'll be back for the start of the race.
The first Belgian Grand Prix was held in 1925 and was designated the European Grand Prix.
Okay, so I'm back, and we are now ready on the formation lap for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix in ILR Tier 5 Sparshot with another pole position. That's more than 2 in a row. It's probably 3 or 4 in a row now for the Williams driver, and he is really on a roll this season, and a win here would really help him in the championship, especially after the last 2 races and the results that he has had. I am almost sure that he is going to be in that title fight at least till the last race, and in fact he could be the champion by the end of the season. But ILRT Jenkins is his title competitor, and he starts P2. So Jack is, well, Jenkins more like is under the cosh coming into these last 8 odd races, especially since Jack Sparshot has the upper hand, especially with the 2 wins in a row. So as I just get the standings up now, before the start of the race, fully expecting, oh, here we go, we've got 5 viewers. Well, a win here for Sparshot would put him at least within a win of Jenkins. 31 points behind now, a win and Jenkins finishing second, or Sparshot getting fastest lap and a win and Jenkins finishing second would put him 25 points behind. So, oh no, sorry, that would put him 23 points behind, and a win without Jenkins getting the fastest lap would put him 24 points behind. So here we go. What's going to happen in ILR Tier 5, round 13 around Belgium? 5 lights. The lights are on for a very long time, and the lights are on, and Sparshot gets away well. Jenkins maybe not so much, as Dustin could look up the inside of the Alfa Romeo. He does, and Dustin up into P2. Sparshot leads away through turn 1. Not too much carnage, in fact, maybe there is. Oh, there definitely is. Further down the grid, Dace Rhombus, who started 6th, is now down into 20th. Sarah Girdwood up to P19 off the start, but Sparshot leads away. And, oh, Jenkins going very wide there out of Eau Rouge, and that's going to give Jules a chance as Jules moves up to P3. Looking further back, ILR Schumacher is in P5. Adamar up one place into P6 on the mediums. And in fact, those cars on the mediums are going to be very good towards the end of the race. But T10 Denzel is out of the race. Looking at the position changes, Hyperface T-View is up 9 places off the start. So is XR Crazed Bear. What a start. Oh, I didn't see that. Dark Wolves now down in P11. I did not see that, so not good for the Alfa Romeo, who seems to be in a title. Well, the Alfa Romeo are in a title fight, with Williams closing in due to Sparshot's good results. So Jenkins also down into P4. That's not good for Alfa Romeo, and he looks like he's got IRL Schumacher right on the back of him. Could ILRT Jenkins have front wing damage on his car? It's entirely possible, because you'd expect him to really be there with Jack, but Dustin looks like he's probably going to be Jack's main challenger, and already the gap is out to a second. So Sparshot already running away with this one, and it's only lap 1. Looking further down the grid, we've got the 2 Ferraris, who obviously last time out had a little bit of a squabble, and in fact Hyperface Tifu closing in very quickly on his teammate. Could look for a dive bomb, he does, and very close there to Adamar, and in fact he could go for him again here down into turn 1, going on board with the Ferrari. Is he going to look up the inside of his teammate into turn 1? He doesn't, and IRL Schumacher goes very deep, and here comes Adamar in the sister Ferrari on the racing point. And in fact, look at how close he's going to be down the straight. He's got his ERS mode up to overtake. He'll be in rich fuel mix through a Radion and Eau Rouge now, and in the slipstream at a racing point. Will he be able to get him by the end of the straight? Actually looking as well, Jenkins getting very close to the Mercedes of Joels, and in fact Dustin right on the back of Sparshot as well. Up the inside goes Jenkins, and Joels pushed him a little bit wide at the second part, and look at that, Jenkins looking up the inside again. Jenkins onto the grass, and there goes IRL Schumacher around the outside. Going in a little bit deep is Jenkins, and he's going to look to keep that position. Schumacher's going to put his car up the inside into the corner with no name, pushes Jenkins all 4 wheels off the track, and it looks like IRL Schumacher might have it done, but coming down into P1 now. They're going to be side by side, not around the outside, surely not. Oh, off the track goes ILRT Jenkins, and again off the track. But look at this is brilliant racing, still side by side, the Alfa Romeo at the racing point, and again side by side, and I think they've hit that time round, and Jenkins has to back out of it. But wow, what a fight between these 2 drivers, and in fact I think Jenkins has every right to be angry after that one, as he did get hit wide by the racing point multiple times, and I think he'll be on to the stewards about that one. But look at this, he's going to get really close, not through here, not through the fast left-hander, surely not. He doesn't go for it, but down into the bus stop chicane he could do. Now Schumacher leaves the inside open, and no, Jenkins doesn't go for it, but oh my god, oh no, Hyperface T-View. Now, I've been in the chat with this guy, and I must be honest, he is one of the most immature people I've seen in league racing. Oh, Adamar up the inside, and oh, there goes Jenkins, the championship leaders round, and into the wall. Front wing damage, comes back onto the racing line, hits the wall. Oh no, ILRT Jenkins. Oh no, and he's retired from the race. And that has to be one of the craziest laps of racing, or craziest 2 laps of racing I've seen in a very long time. And now look at Adamar now, coming back at IRL Schumacher. But Hyperface, having been in the chat with Hyperface Tifu for the last week, and I know commentators aren't supposed to, they're supposed to be unbiased and they're not supposed to get involved with things like this, but I'm really not sure how he's still in this league. That was one of the, that was, I don't know how far he came back from, but he was just there on the, and I feel like Jenkins probably saw it coming. That's why I didn't go up the inside of the I don't know how far Hyperface Tfue was back on Jenkins, but it couldn't have been close because he was behind Adam on the lap before. So Hyperface Tfue causing a collision there, right up the inside at the bus stop chicane, hit one car, and now Adam, no, that is Hyperface Tfue, and here he goes now. We watch him now. So Sparshot's still in the lead, but Dustin's staying within a second. I can't say that's something like you would have expected to happen. Up 10 places, Hyperface Tfue, so even if he did cause a collision, still had a good start. Up 10 places, he'll be happy with that. Who's the biggest? I mean, realistically, the only massive loser is the Alfa Romeo of ILRT Jenkins. And oh, Adamar! That is his race over in the Ferrari. Drops it. Oh no, Dark Phoenix is out as well, but I don't know when that happened. But that is his race over. Is now looking at Dustin. Dustin's staying with Sparshot, only 7 tenths behind. And Phalanx blew out as well, but surely not the same place. I think that was. I think they've both gone off for Eau Rouge / Radion there. I don't really know which bit's which. Sarah taking it nice and easy, slowing down for the yellow flags there. That puts Sarah up to P11. Done Thunder. Oh, there's another one going. Oh, what's going on? There's another one going there. That's 3 in 1 lap at Eau Rouge. That is absolutely crazy. 3 cars off in 1 lap. There must be some oil out on track or something. But look at Hyperface Tfue. Oh, here we go. Side by side. And oh, no. ILR Schumacher there running him out of room. And I'm not really sure what's going on in this race. This is one of the craziest races I've seen because we've got Scottish dude up into P5. Now Hyperface Tfue's not going to be happy. Look at these cars. Oh, HAH goes through against Craig Conley. And now we've got Scottish dude around the outside. Surely not around the outside. Look at the front wing damage that ILR Schumacher's got. Around the outside. There's a bit of contact, but he gets the move done. That's a very good move from Scottish dude there. Here comes Hyperface Tfue up the inside of Craig Conley. Gets that move done. Cars going off everywhere as ILR Schumacher goes deep. I have to watch Hyperface Tfue now as he could go for a move on any of these cars. And AJH maybe could have gone for a move there, but he's a bit too far back on ILR Schumacher. He's going deep at every corner. He's got very bad wing damage. He's not being able to deal with it very well. 3-second time penalty to Sparshot there for corner cutting. So that must have been through Eau Rouge. And I swear if I see one It's Radion actually meme, I'm going to hunt you down, punch you in the face, because that's a dead meme, as all F1 memes are, and they should be a thing, but that's a conversation for another day. The Scottish dude, as it stands, I think this would be his best finish so far in ILR Tier 5, and that would really help. In fact, no, sorry, he got P4 in the first race of the season at Bahrain, but other than that, in fact, in every race he's finished in the points, apart from at France where he finished P13. So Scottish dude will be happy with this. And I think I remember Scottish dude actually from back when I used to race on F1 2017. So he's come upon leaps and bounds since then, because he didn't used to be a very fast driver, but he seems to be quite good now. Hyperface Tfue is now looking for a move on AJH, and the bus stop chicane, which seems to be his favourite overtaking area as he goes very wide. And in fact, he could have front wing damage because that looked very understeery there. No, he doesn't. He's still good. AJH ahead, getting on the grass and going a bit slowly. And this is, here we go. Hyperface Tfue's licking his lips as he looks up the inside of the McLaren. There he goes, up the inside. It's him. And now he's going to look around the outside. Yeah, AJH running him out of room. Getting back there at the Ferrari, but I can't imagine Hyperface. Oh, a bit of a late move there from AJH, but Hyperface Tfue will get that move done. AJH could go for an undercut though, as Hyperface Tfue probably won't. In fact, he won't have DRS. Going down the Kemmel Straight, we have to watch out for Joe Messi 7 now, as he's going to look at, oh my god, he's side by side with AJH. Whoa, as AJH is gone across the grass, and now look at Joe Messi. He's going to go for a move on Hyperface Tfue as well. Here we go. Up the inside, there's not enough space there for the Haas, but he's going to go for it down into here. Oh, Hyperface Tfue coming back across. This is very, very, collision. That looks like a racing collision to me, but once again, contact with Hyperface Tfue as he goes round. That puts him down into P9. I mean, other than that, there's not really much going on. I mean, top three are all... I mean, Dustin's staying within range of Sparshot, but there's not really much... Oh, safety car. Or something. Virtual safety car, because they've all slowed down. I actually can't see it. It's not popping up on my screen what it is. I think it's probably a virtual safety car. But we're soon to find out. Look at all those retirements. That's a lot of retirements. That puts Sarah Girdwood in position to get her first points finish of the season, which would be very, very good for her. And we all want to see everybody in this tier get a points finish, because at the end of the day, oh, here we go. And into the pits comes these guys, so they're probably going to have to fit the mediums or the hards. And yeah, once again, I didn't actually see if it was a... It looks to me it is a full safety car. No, DRS enabled, there we go. They've gone green, so it was a virtual. But that has helped people like Sparshot, Dustin and Joels. And in fact, Scottish Dude doesn't come into the pits. I guess there's not really much point at this point now. But Scottish Dude is going to take over the lead of the race, I believe. As no, there's Sparshot. And here comes Scottish Dude, right at the back of his teammate. Up the inside, Sparshot has to let him go. Scottish Dude goes straight over it. O'Rouge picks up a time penalty for that. And Scottish Dude opens up his DRS. He's still going at full speed. He's not going to let Sparshot through. And here we go now. Bit of team conflict down at Williams as Scottish Dude continues to lead this race, not letting his teammate through. And here comes Sparshot. Is he going to look up the inside into here? No, he's not. No. Scottish Dude leaving the inside open, and there goes Sparshot. And I guess, I mean, Sparshot, he did get the he did get the slipstream, so he'll be thanking his teammate for that, letting him through really without issue. Dustin, though, has lost a lot of time to the man who was first, and now he's on the back of ILR Schumacher, who has some sort of wing damage. Yeah, on the front right there, he's got his end plate completely gone. And only 12 races remaining. Here we go, look at this. AJH moves his car past Joe Messi there. He may have already been ahead, but only 2 drivers now. We're in the same position they started in, Sparshot and AJH. And look at this for the Williams. And oh, Dustin up the inside of Schumacher. Schumacher goes really wide. Is he going to come back at the Red Bull? I don't think he will. No, he won't. He's going to let Dustin go there. And ooh, understeering a lot there, the Racing Point. Joels now also needs to look to get through these cars, because these cars, well, he is a net third at the moment. Joe Messi ducks off into the pits. Look at all that debris there. That's from Jenkins' car. And in fact, if Sparshot goes on to win this race, which is what I believe will probably happen, Sparshot will only be 6 points behind, depending on whether he gets the fastest lap or not. And if he does get the fastest lap, he'll only be 5 points behind. So Dustin needs to clear Sparshot's teammate now. In the slipstream with DRS, Scottish Dude moves over to the left-hand side. Dustin up the inside, gets the move done, and oh, turns in maybe there on Scottish Dude, and Scottish Dude has to back out of it. Bit of understeer there for the Williams car. Any damage on the front wing? Doesn't look like it. No, he's fine. He'll carry on. So Scottish Dude actually in a decent position to get a podium here. Obviously, Joels will take over the podium spot when everybody else pits, but Scottish Dude running a good race in a net P4 right now. He'll be very happy with that, as will the Williams team, as both the Alfa Romeos have retired. I didn't actually see Dark Wolves retire, so that might have been through Oru/Radion as well. But yeah, so the last time I did a solo commentary in this tier was at Britain, and I had a cold. We're now 4 weeks on at Belgium, and I've got a cold. I think every time I get a cold, I just get a solo commentary for this tier. And I don't appreciate it, it must be said. It's not the most pleasant thing in the world, commentating with a cold, but I'm still happy to do it, because the racing in this tier is brilliant, and it kind of just keeps me awake. So IRL Schumacher is staying close to Scottish Dude, and in fact he could go for a move on this lap. He's going to have, in fact, we are just going to hide everything now. We're just going to watch now down the straight as I think the racing point could be close enough for a move on this lap, but it's going to be very close because, and the clouds are coming over as well, which makes me think that there could be rain on the way. Look at the clouds coming over there. So here we go, the racing point now on board. Oh yeah, Scottish dude lowers his DRS mode. Through goes the racing point of IRL Schumacher, and Scottish dude, whose soft tyres will be wearing out at this point, will probably be looking to pit any lap now. Lewis, if you're watching, I don't know. I have no clue what's going on. And oh, we got another yellow flag as Joe Messi retires. And in fact, this is going to put Sarah Girdwood into a points position finish. So, could we be seeing Sarah get her first points in ILR Tier 5? This is going to be a brilliant story if she can. And in fact, she's going slow through Eau Rouge and Radion. You can hardly blame her. You can see that there's at least 4 cars this race. Oh, actually, the Joe Messi went off on the straight. So that kind of makes me think that there was a bit of contact there. It's AMS Joel's now looking at the Toro Rosso of Craig Connolly, and Craig Connolly moves over to the right hand side on his hard tyres, and Joel's will just slip his Mercedes up the inside, and I think Craig Connolly just accepted defeat on that one. He knows Joel's is probably the faster driver, and Scottish dude does duck off into the pits there. So Scottish dude will be a net P4, and the race is kind of dying down now. AJH is closing in on his teammate Dun Thunder though, which is going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of team orders there. But Joel's will close in on IRL Schumacher pretty fast, I'd say, because Joel's is probably the faster driver and doesn't have wing damage and has newer tyres. Oh, but hell, look at Craig Connolly. Craig Connolly is continuing the battle with AMS Joel's. I did not expect that from the Toro Rosso driver. But Joel's hangs on to his place there, and that's probably the end of that battle as he looks to close up to P3 IRL Schumacher. And all too deep there goes Craig Connolly, drops it, does Craig, and he avoids the wall, and he's also going to stay P5 because Scottish dude's way too far back to make a move on him. But Dazed Rhombus ducks off into the pits, which puts Sarah Girdwood up into P9 now. And I know Sparshot will probably be listening. And he'll be very happy with that, that Sarah's up now to P9. Because, as I said before, I want to see everybody in this tier get points. Because I feel like everybody in this tier is fast enough to get points. That's why I want to see it happen. Sparshot is probably too fast for this tier, actually. And it says he's on the soft tyres, but he's actually on the mediums. As he now is kind of pulling away from Dustin now. And this is going to be for his 3rd win in a row. And what will be, I think, his 5th win in 6 races. Because, 5th win in his last 6 races he started. Yes, it will be. It will be his 5th win in his last 6 races. So Sparshot is closing up quickly to ILRT Jenkins, who built up a nice lead at the start of the season, a lead that looked unclosable, but it is being closed by this Williams driver. And if it was on realistic cars, you do have to ask if he'd be up here, but it's not. It's unequal, as we all know. So T10 Sparshot doing what the real life Williams can't do, and that's lead a race and close down a lead for the championship, which next week could come to a head at Monza, and I think we'll probably see fireworks there, as Sparshot will be looking for the lead of the championship. And in fact, you're looking now Kimster closing in on Sarah Girdwood, as Sarah just moves out the way there for Kimster. I don't really know what that was for, but that's probably some, reverse team orders. Normally it's the Toro Rosso's letting the Red Bull through, but maybe this time it was the other way around. I know they are friends, so that could be the reason. Joel's now, like I mentioned, is closing in on IRL Schumacher, and in fact he's probably going to look for a move at some point on this upcoming lap, because Schumacher will probably have to go another 3 or 4 laps until he pulls off into the pits. 3, 4, 5 laps. Probably looking for a pit stop at around lap 14 or 15. But I mean, this rain is look, it could rain actually. I'm looking at the sky and it's very cloudy. Looks like it definitely could rain, and Joel's had to back out of it there. But if there is rain, that could spice things up, or it could do what it did last week at Hungary and completely kill the race. But I don't think it would around here, especially as Eau Rouge is a thing. And oh, there we go. Just as I was saying, look, I am a mastermind. Just as I was talking about it, it starts raining, and they didn't put it on the chat or anything like that. So I'm very happy that I've managed to predict that. Get me on weatherman duty, and look at ILR Schumacher there. A bit of understeer, and Joel's, if he could go for a move down here at the end of the Kemmel Straight, it's going to be a bit of a dive bomb from the Mercedes driver. Could he look to the inside of the customer at Racing Point team? He can! And there goes AMS Joel's up into P3, into a podium spot. And he'll be very happy with that one. And that was basically a podium lock, because ILR Schumacher still has to pit, so does Craig Conley, which means he'll have about a 15-second gap back to 4th place, which will be Scottish dude. So, well, actually, sorry, this has been tiring. This has been a brilliant race to spectate on, and it's only going to get better in the next couple of laps as cars may struggle in these rainy conditions. So, if ILR Schumacher can stay out long enough to see the inters, he will come out in P4, even if he changes the front wing. Craig Conley definitely can. In fact, those hard tyres can probably do the whole 22 laps of the race. It's just you've got to change tyres. I'm not too sure why he's gone onto the hard tyres. Maybe, I think he put them on. Oh yes, he put them on at the end of lap 1 to go to the end of the race. So that's fair enough from the Toro Rosso driver. As he's taken it very easy there through the double right-hander. And oh, really deep there, ILR Schumacher. And in fact, could it be time for the inters? And I think ILR Schumacher's going to make the gamble. Look at this. Look how much understeer he's getting. Obviously, with that front wing damage, he's going to have to get the car slowed down. And in fact, he puts on his limiter before he even gets to the pits. And this looks like it's going to be a gamble for the intermediate tyres. I can't imagine he's going to come in to put on a dry set of tyres. He's not. That is the inters. Now, every time I've seen a gamble recently, and oh no, all the cars are coming in, so it must be time. And look at Craig Conley, he's hit a nowadays Robbers. Craig Conley is stuck at the start of the pit lane, and he's been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. That means if Sarah Girdwood finishes the race now, she will have points. I know a lot of people watching will be happy with that. So now look at the top 3. They're still on the dry tyres in these rainy conditions. Is there going to be any fireworks here? Joel's having to take it really carefully, and he could lose too much time to Schumacher, so that he has to. He loses a spot, and he's losing probably about half a tenth every. And look how slow these guys are having to go. Spar shot, having to get it turned in. And this is where ILR Schumacher's going to gain a lot of time on AMS Joel's, I'd imagine. Look how slow he's having to go on those drier tyres, and I don't think there's going to be any crashes. Sarah Girdwood goes really deep there, and she'll have to come back across into the pit lane. As Sparshot also comes now, braking very early as he boxes as well. And in fact, ILR Schumacher isn't gaining nearly, well, he isn't gaining any time on Joel's, which is a bit of a surprise. I thought he'd be gaining time on the Mercedes in front so that he can maybe jump him. But Sparshot and Dustin both make it into the pits fine. Look at how deep Joel's goes, and he's going to have to get it across. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Well, he's just done it. It hits the pit wall coming in. No, dropping it there as Joel's coming into the pits, but I don't know. Is this going to spice up the race? Well, we've got Scottish Dude now behind Dun Thunder. I don't know how Dun Thunder's got. Oh, Scottish Dude must have made a mistake, because Dun Thunder was not. Yeah, sorry. So I was just checking the chat. Craig Conley complaining about his disqualification. But Scottish dude now braking, maybe not anticipating the braking power needed, but could Dun Thunder catch up to IRL Schumacher? Dun Thunder gained 5 places. He is a master at gaining places in races, and in fact I don't think he's ever finished below where he qualified. He's always gained about 5 to 10 places from where he's qualified, so the McLaren looking to keep that up, to really put himself into the battle. Well, he is currently, I think, P5 in the standings. He'll be very happy with that. So yeah, Dun Thunder is currently P6, but he's going to look maybe to catch up with Dustin, who is currently running second. So he's going to have to rely on Dustin retiring if he wants any chance, really, of gaining that place. Sparshot is really away now. The gap 9.3 seconds. All he has to do is keep it on the road, and he's won this race. Dustin the same in second, and Joel's the same in third. So that top 3 really probably a lock, because they can take it easy now until the end of the race. I really can't see much else happening. This is what happens when you get the rain, is that there's really a lack of overtakes, because unless there's crashes, everybody's a little bit too far away from each other for overtakes to occur. Normally, if my co-commentator was here, we'd play a game of I Spy, but there isn't actually anybody I can play I Spy with. I mean, I guess I'm just going to have to go through the championship ramifications, really. So this obviously would put Sparshot... That was the fastest lap. So the fastest lap at the moment... Dazed Rhombus in the Renault, so that's not really going to do much for him. So this is going to put Sparshot only 6 points behind the championship leader, after being a solid 16 points behind. Well, 16 points behind about 2 races ago. So Jenkins maybe has completely thrown his championship, hopes out of the window. After leading for the first, 13 races. Next week, just a win for Sparshot will be guaranteed to put him first in the championship, which is obviously not what Jenkins would want. And in fact, even in the Constructors' Championship, Williams have been closing in on Alfa Romeo. So now the gap is only... Brilliant, this is the perfect time for my standings to mess up. So the gap right now is only 54 points. This is going to gain them 33. So this is going to put the gap to 19 points between the Alfa Romeo and Williams teams. And in fact, even Ferrari, both the Ferraris have retired. Both the Alfa Romeos have retired. Both the Haas cars have retired. In fact, the only 2 teams that have both their cars, well, the only 3 teams that have both their cars still running are Red Bull, Williams, and McLaren. Obviously, 1 Renault still in the running, 1 Toro Rosso still in the running, and 1 Racing Point still in the running, and 1 Mercedes as well. So, those 3 teams I mentioned that have both their cars running are going to gain, traction in the championship. McLaren, I think as they are in real life, 4th place. No, McLaren is 7th because AJH hasn't really been performing. So, yeah, McLaren will be ecstatic with this, because this is going to put them probably above Racing Point. So Racing Point will get 12 from IRL Schumacher. 10, 6, 4. So yes, actually this will move McLaren up above Racing Point in the championship, but not above Red Bull, as Red Bull obviously have Dustin to kind of pull them along, with Sarah not yet being able to get a point. But this actually, Red Bull would go above Mercedes if the race ended as it did, would they? So 18.54. Yeah. Red Bull moved 1 point ahead of Mercedes if it ended as it is. Ferrari obviously losing time to the teams around them. Yeah, no, here we go. We've got Dazed Rhombus coming up to the back of Kimpster, so we could see an overtake now. Here comes Dazed Rhombus. I think he's probably been gaining time with Sarah now. Sarah obviously taking it easy. She knows she's got her first points in the bag as long as she keeps it on the track. And I'm sure she'll just be happy to see this one home for a P10 finish. So, Dazed Rhombus in the Renault, right on the back of the Toro Rosso of Kimster. This is for P8. Days Rhombus, I think, is a reserve driver. So the Renaults are... as my standings go off, I've got to get back up. But yeah, I think he is, because we've lost Boom this week. We've lost Jay. I don't actually know where he is, but yeah, he hasn't been able to race this week. JJ Rocks as well we don't have, who I think is a reserve also. As and hits the wall, does Days Robinson again over on the other side. I think he got away without wing damage, but he drops it. Oh, Rouge, and that's horrible for him. Is that front left end plate still on? I can't really see. I don't think it is. I think it's gone. It is. He's lost his end plate. Left end plate, and you can see his brakes there on fire. He's had the brake coming up a Rouge and coming out because he completely lost it. And actually, quite a funny thing, the only person to lose a position that's still racing is AJH, losing one spot. Everyone else has gained or retained their place. So Sarah's up 7, Kimpster is up 11, Scottish Dude is up 6, Thunder up 5. AJH ducks off into the pits. He's probably got wing damage because he hasn't. Well, he's got nobody near him behind, so he's okay on that front. I don't know if Rhombus will have to pit because obviously his wing damage. I think he'll probably stay out, although it's definitely going to be losing him time. Oh, AJH has got some sort of penalty. Oh, he's held there for a long time. Is he going to come out ahead or behind? He is going to come out ahead of Kimster. But behind Scottish Dude, who he was already behind, of course. Scottish Dude, I'm not sure if he's gaining time on Dun Thunder. I don't think he is. So, yeah, look at the gaps out in front. 11 seconds, 15, 11, 9.6, 3.6. Yeah, so everybody not really close to each other as it stands. So I'm going to check if everybody has a point that's raced more than, I don't know, like 2 races this season. Because I think they do. I think there's been so much chaos in this tier that... everybody's got a point apart from Sarah. So no, Kane Robbo hasn't, but he's only done 1 race, which was last week. Everybody else has a point. Sarah will be getting her first points this week in a Red Bull, which she'll be very happy with. And then we've got Scottish Dude, who's gonna, yeah. So as you guys can tell, I'm kind of running out of things to say at this point. This happened with me in Hungary last week. But obviously I had a co-commentator, me and Jack, we were, you know, keeping ourselves entertained. But this week there's not really much, you know, I don't really have a co-commentator that I can talk to. So, everybody kind of losing time on each other. Dave's Rhombus isn't gaining that gap back to Kimster. And everybody else is at least 10 seconds behind each other. This race isn't as dull as last week's, to be fair. We got a good 10 laps, to be fair. It was brilliant. A lot of battles. 3 people retiring at the same corner on 1 lap. Side-by-side battles around the whole track. It's been a good race. It's been a good race. That coffee really isn't helping. Who is Sparshot coming up to lap now? I think it could be Days Rhombus. It is Days Rhombus. Obviously these days lapped cars are just automatically ghosted, so we're not going to have any problems with that. Rhombus doesn't actually need to slow down and get out of the way because he is ghosted. But yeah, the gap's getting even bigger now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the chat up. I actually haven't looked at the chat, and if anybody's watching has any recommendations for something, you know, I can do in these last few laps while everybody drives around about 8 seconds or more away from each other, I'm going to get the stream up now. Connecting to chat. There we go. If anybody has anything, the chat is up. In fact, I've just realised that the Twitch stream is only about 2 seconds behind. So, Sparshot. Hello, Captain Carroll's here. Hello. Hello, mate. Yeah, it's been a bit of a boring one. Sparshot, if you're listening, give me a little bit of a weave on this straight up coming. Get me on commentary to talk to. Oh, I'm sorry, Lewis, I can't really do that. Alright, Sparshot, if you're listening, go to gear 1 in this chicane. He's not listening. Fair enough. He normally listens to the stream, but he's not this time around. Absolute disgrace. He's coming up now to lap Kimster, but Sarah is now a minute behind the car ahead, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Points are points. She's ahead of 10 other cars, so she'll be very happy with that one. Scottish dude is... I mean, this is the thing. People are going to say, look, Sarah is not very fast, but she's 10 people have crashed out of this race, and she's managed to keep it on the track. I just think in these conditions, that's just good enough. Just keeping on the track is good enough, and that's... Thank you, Captain Carroll. Sarah is a cult hero. Yes, she is. And we've also got Dun Thunder, who is also a cult hero, who has gone up 5 places in this race. And Sarah nearly dropping it there through the corner. I forget the name of. Kimster's paused it. Oh no, he's letting Sparshot go. I don't. Yeah, blue flags this year. If anybody is listening that ever gets lapped in a race, you don't have to slow down and let people through for blue flags anymore, because you just ghost. I mean, if you want to keep it authentic, you can, but I don't think you have to anymore. 18 seconds now between Joel and Dustin. And normally at this point, Sparshot will be letting his sister race if he has a girl messaging him. But knowing Sparshot, that's probably not happening. So his sister in on the old controller this week. Lap 21, penultimate lap has been started by Sparshot. In fact, we are just going to ride on board the series to make sure she brings us one home. One Sparshot bin it. No, he nearly did. Should have more points in ILR Tier 5 than Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. That is true. Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton have a combined... Look, if you think about it, Senna, Hamilton, Vettel, Schumacher, Prost, Lauda, Mansell, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, obviously you've got to mention him, all have a combined 0 points in ILR Tier 5. Sarah's about to get one. Just look at that. Take that as you will. You know, I think that deserves a round of applause. More points than all of those great drivers combined in this tier. Sparshot, really, if he could go up a tier, that would be highly appreciated. Because we do want to see competition in this tier, and we're not seeing it with Sparshot in here. So, yeah, so basically Melon, aka Lewis. So there's 5 tiers, but tier 5 isn't really. I wouldn't say that's. Actually, I wouldn't say it's the slowest tier. Well, it might be, but it's just because tier 5 is the assist tier where you can use any assist. Tier 4 is no ABS. Tier 3 is no ABS, and then tier 2 and tier 1 are just no assist at all. I don't think you're allowed to use traction control in tier 1 and 2. No, you're not. Tier 1 and 2 are just no assists. And then, as Sparshot starts his final lap. So yeah, tier 1, 2 are no assists. Tier 5 is any assists. And then tier 3 and 4 are, I think, no ABS. So maybe no traction, I'm not too sure. But Sparshot has had an absolute wonderful race. He's never lost a lead. I think he's led every single lap, apart from when Scottish Dude got him when he came out the pits. So, I mean, IRL Schumacher has been closing into Joel, so that could be a battle to watch for future races. Oh, okay, fair enough. Mike chose it. And cheers, Kemper. So is mine. Melon, I'm surprised my controller hasn't just turned off this race. And then, yeah, well, my Xbox is done also. Good thing I've got a new one on the way on Monday. So we are going to ride on board with Sparshot now as he comes into Pool 1. Don't bottle it. Ooh, he's going to be taking this very, very easy. He knows he's got the gap behind him. He doesn't want to drop it. He has, yep. And I have been told by Captain Cohen, my usual co-commentator, that yes, he hasn't. Oh, look at him losing the back end there. As the rain is starting to die down a little bit now, so it's probably conditions are a bit easier now and they were a few laps ago for these guys. But Sparshot, he's led every lap. He's well and truly shown why he's now only 6 points behind the championship leader, ILRC Jenkins, who obviously retired, dropping it out of turn 1, down to the bus stop chicane. T10 Sparshot. He's raced a brilliant race. Doesn't have the fastest lap. He could have got the Grand Slam, but he's not going to. But that doesn't matter. He won't be worrying about that at all as he crosses the line to win in ILR Tier 5, round 13 around Belgium. Dustin is going to... Well, Kimster crosses the line to finish P8. We're going to have Dustin bringing the car home in P2. Whoa, he's dropped it there. I mean, he's got a 20-second gap and he's going to reverse on. He's going to get disqualified for this. He doesn't get disqualified. He crosses the line in P2. Now, Joels is going to be crossing the line at P3. As long as he doesn't crash. He doesn't crash. And there you go. Joels crosses the line P3. He'll be happy with that. A good podium. First one in a while. And now up to the line, IRL Schumacher finishes P4. Next will be Dun Thunder, I think, to cross the line. Yeah, it will be. It'll be Dun Thunder. Where's Sarah? Sarah is there. Okay. I do want to watch Sarah cross the line. Days Rhombus crossed the line in P9, obviously a lapped car. Dun Thunder here. Oh, nearly dropping it. Whoa, Dun Thunder keeping it on the road. Crosses the line. That's a P5 finish for Dun Thunder. He'll be very happy with that. 10 points for the McLaren driver, make it 16 for the team on the day. We'll put them up to P6 in the championship. Now crossing the line, Scottish Dude P6. Next will be Sarah. Through the final chicane, bit deep there. Round the final corner now. Sarah Goodwood to get, she said she couldn't do it. She will get her first point in ILR Tier 5. A great race there from Sarah. Outraced 10 drivers to take home the points. And then finally we've got AJH coming up to the final chicane to round off. And oh, looks up there. He probably turned off his thing for final lap. And in fact, I'm going to get the podium drivers in now for the podium interviews. And AMS Joels doesn't rate. He doesn't have a mic. Well done to Sarah for her first points, and in fact I might get her up onto the podium. I don't know, I might get her up onto the podium. If anybody joins, that is. I don't know if they go. Nobody's joining as of now. I mean, at this point I don't blame them for not joining for podium interviews. I don't think I would after that. Yeah, I don't think they're going to join. So that's fine. Oh, no, it's T10 Sparshot message. I was just going to say... Inv. In fact, I'm going to get... she might take it the wrong way, so I'm not going to get Sarah up onto the podium. But I have invited Sparshot twice now. And he's told me to Inv, but he's not. He has said... Party ain't working. Okay, so that's it. No podium interviews for today, which is fine because I'm quite tired. So T10 Sparshot wins, followed by Dustin, Joels, Schumacher, Dunfunder, Scottish Dude, McLaren, AJH, The Kimster, Days Rhombus, Sarah Goodwin gets her first point in ILR Tier 5, and the rest retire. So thank you everybody. I think we're going to round it off there. Thank you everybody for watching ILR Tier 5 round.